All right, what up, Casper Crew? Divine Hood here. So, Bitcoin 100K today, historic day. This is awesome. I just wanted to pop in here, make a video for you guys real quick, and show you some of this macro analysis that I showed Jason the other day. I'm not going to go into depth. I just want to show you guys a couple things that I've been looking at. And as you know, the other day, probably a week ago, I posted about this really important Fibonacci or this log channel here based off the weekly time frame, based off of the key 65K high, 69K high, and then back down to the 16K lows, the bear market lows. And you can see how well this channel's been respected. So one of the big things to learn about trading is it's based off of human psychology and sentiment of markets. And if you can discover key timeframes in markets and understand sentiment from there and trends from there, you can develop price action off that even gives you key resistance and support before, based off of tools that we can use before the price has actually even made that pattern. It's a predictive market. So let me show you guys this real quick. This is why I was saying that 95K top was so important here, because you can see how well this channel's been respected. And as we know, COVID of 2020, the dump in March of 2020 was a really key time frame for crypto and for all risk on assets, because the government decided to print trillions of dollars, and that caused pretty much a bull market for all risk on assets. And we just had liquidity flowing into the markets like crazy. And Bitcoin pumped from 3K, 4K, all the way up to 65K. And in April of 2020, I remember this price action so well because I was new to crypto and I was actually buying in on this last leg here and up here. God, we all make that mistake of buying the top when we first get in as retail. And I knew nothing about trading, but we saw it hit 65K. Coinbase listed on it did its IPO on the traditional markets, and that was kind of the top signal, as well as futures ETFs were being approved at this time. And so 65K was a key market cycle high back then. And then we dumped all the way to 30K, and you can see, and then we came up for a second top to the 69K, and then we had the bear market. But based off of this two key highs of the start of a new market cycle for Bitcoin, a new liquidity cycle based off Fed printing, based off COVID, all these different things. So 65K was obviously a very, very key level for Bitcoin. And then the double top at 69K was also a key level. So based off of that, what we can do is, if we take just a parallel channel tool here, make sure you're on the log scale, because log scale is very important for macro time frame analysis with diminishing returns, and it just gives you a better sense of what price action is going to do on large volatility, large scale moves. So we're going to take the high at 65K and we bring it up to the high at 69K, because those were both key cycle highs. And we bring it down to the 16K lows, which is where the bear market ended. Now you can see how well this channel has been respected on the weekly. And even though when we were here, this channel wasn't formed yet, but because price action in markets is based off sentiment and human psychology, you can see that this price action was respected even before the two highs were created. The midline held here. The midline of the 2020 accumulation summer. I remember this summer was really boring in the Discord. We were trading $500 moves like it was awesome. And you can see it held here as well. And then we pumped up, made it that double top. We came back down and we front ran it a little bit, but you can see we kind of tested the midline of the channel. It held, and we pumped from 32K all the way to 49K. Finally, when 49K didn't hold, I remember BitBoy was saying it's never going to go below 47K again. And, just like Jason says in live streams all the time, when people say that, it's going to happen. And we finally lost this midline, which is a cycle midline that's really important. We lost it. We came back up on the weekly level and we back tested it. We confirmed the rejection, because in any healthy market on major resistance or support levels, you'll come back. Once you break it, you come back up to test it, either a bullish back test, which is when you break it to the top and then you come back and you test it like to continue bullishly, or in this case, a bearish back test where we break it to the downside. We come back up for the bearish back test of the channel midline. We confirm the rejection and we dump hard. And you can see that was also when we confirmed that rejection, the next couple of weeks were the biggest dumps we had on Bitcoin. And anyways, this was all the FTX FUD. Everything was collapsing. BlockFi, Voyager, we all got wrecked there, or at least most of us did. And we started bottoming out the 16K lows. And this is the bear market lows. And this is another really, really important pivot for the new bull run and for the cycle. So we take the channel, 65K high, 69K high, drag it down to this low here, and you can see how well it's been respected. Now, remember we were in this range here for a few months, and this was between 25 and 30K. Bitcoin was ranging. We kind of were, forming this ABC complex correction here, and we needed some sort of catalyst to happen to either break us down from this range or break us above this range. And right about September is when BlackRock filed for that ETF. And we know if BlackRock files for something, they get it. So as soon as BlackRock files for it, we finally break out of this accumulation zone here, or this range that we were in. And we come up to the midline of this channel. And you guys can see here on 3 weekly channels, we hit the channel top. We couldn't break past it. We hit it again on a second weekly channel, couldn't break it. Third weekly channel, couldn't break it. We had a doji. And then finally, it broke the channel highs, and we pumped all the way up to 49K, which was really important. I'll show you guys that in a second. And once you break a major level in any sort of healthy market, you come back to retest it to confirm it, the flip to support. And then as soon as we confirm the flip to support, we pumped up like crazy. So, and you know what? This channel is a little bit off here. I could remake it, but let me just show you guys this first real quick. So we know that 49K high was a high we were all looking to short. Actually, I remember in the Discord, I was calling for a 10K candle, the gods down to a God candle to the downside, while everyone else was calling for God candles to the upside. And we were calling for that based off of, if you go from the high to the low and we take the golden pocket there, you could see that this was the golden pocket of the all-time high to the bear market lows. We were wicking into that, as well as it was also, if we go into our macro time frame, this channel, which I'm going to show you guys in a second, which is a very important channel. Not this one. Here we go. This channel here, which was the entire bull market price action that was being healthily respected. So it was the top of the channel here into a macro golden pocket. And look how well these channels work. So we break this bull market channel to the upside, or we're aggressively in a heavily ascending channel in bull market. We finally hit the top of the channel after the major last pivot high of the channel, and we dump. But sure enough, both midlines of the 2 major cycle channels, the bull market cycle channel here and the bigger cycle channel, 5-year cycle channel since the COVID lows, and they're both in perfect confluence here on the weekly, both the midlines, and that was a very strong support. It held, and we pumped to new all-time highs. So of course that's going to happen with this because it's strong support. All right, so let me take this channel off real quick. And this is why I was saying when we come up to the 95K levels, 96K, and it's a little bit different depending on which exchange you use. But that's what I was saying. This is a very important level where we could stall out. Now, it looks like we're breaking it today, and we're breaking it with volume to the upside, and we wicked down below after breaking above it. We wicked a couple times below, but you can see on the weekly, we didn't close below it, which is showing me that Bitcoin still has strength, even though I am a little bit concerned about this bearish weekly divergence here. We'll see if that plays out. We could hit 111K and then see that play out. So, all right, so that's that channel there. That's why I was really looking for this channel to be respected, and it's still an important channel we need to watch for, because we can also see some sort of chop for a few weeks around these channel highs, and then we could either dump, or we could do what we're doing now, is hold it as support, pump up a little bit higher, and then go to new levels of price discovery. So let me show you guys. This is the other really important channel that I was watching, and I was posting this for months in the Discord when we were all down in this price action here, all the way up. I remember when we were hitting that golden pocket, I was posting about the golden pocket in confluence with the top of the channel. We could see the dump. We did get the dump. This channel is a very important channel because it's pretty much the entire price action of the bull market. So I can show you guys here real quick how we make this channel. Let me just go ahead and hide this one here. And if you're on the log scale, you just take the parallel channel. You go from the bottom bear market cycle lows to the next higher low that we see. and then you go to the first major pivot high of that channel. And you can see that this channel was really respected. Once again, the past of the channel is still respected because it's based off human psychology and, trending markets. And this channel, once we broke this channel to the top, what we can do is say, okay, we broke this channel to the top. We're going to take this regular parallel channel and we are going to change it into a fib channel. So I'm just going to hide this channel here, and I've already got the fib channel, same pivot points I just showed you, but we're putting the 3 pivot points from here to here to here, and we turn that channel into a fib channel, and we know the 618, the golden ratio, or the extinction of the golden ratio, the 1.618 is always a key level. That's why at 74K, when everyone was calling for 100K, I said, no, we're probably gonna see at least a decent correction from here. And we could either start ranging or we could dump really hard back down. And, I was saying we were going to dump back down to the 48Ks to retest these highs here. And we pretty much got that. We dumped to 49K here. You can see this last prior high here was now our support. So when we come back down to it, major prior highs now become flipped into support. We come back down to it. We hold it as support. We pump up. We continue higher. Should Bitcoin still showing massive strength then? That's what we see there. All right. So anyways, we came to the 1.618. We wicked above it. The second we closed below it, I shorted that. I bring it down to the top of the original channel, which was this level right here. And sure enough, once we hit the top of the original channel, you can see right there on the weekly, we had a really big hammer candle. And we continued the pump upward pretty much back up to 72K. And then this is where we've been ranging the last 8 months. And it was just a grueling 8 months of just range here. And we needed some sort of catalyst to break us out of this range. And we did see, once we finally re-entered this channel, we came back up. We wicked a little bit above it, but we tried to break back above the channel. We couldn't, so we broke back down to the midline. And once again, this midline has been so important for the entire bull market price action. You can see how well it's held. And so we did close a couple weekly candles below it or around it, but for the most part it held. Price action is not going to be perfect in a low liquidity asset. And I know Bitcoin's not really low liquidity anymore, but it's still not the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. So we finally hold this midline, show strength. We break above. The catalyst was Trump winning the election. Pro-crypto regulation, bull market's on. We break out of this 8th-month range, which was a reaccumulation range, and we could tell that was a reaccumulation range because every time we were in this price action here of this range that we were in for 8 months, 6 to 8 months, whatever it was, anytime we would come to the value area low of the range, you would see the spot ETFs buying like crazy. You would see Michael Saylor buying like crazy, and you would see other countries buying like crazy. There's rumors Qatar's buying crypto right now, Bitcoin, keep on their balance sheet. So we saw the reaccumulation. We're busting up. We were at the top of that 95K channel, and this fib channel is still a super, super important channel or super important trend to follow for the bull market. So next major high, I just posted this in the Discord, about 111K, 112K, depending on when we hit it. If it takes another week to get there, 111, 112K, we could see a rotation back down now to the top of the channel around 90K or so, depending on how long it takes. We also got to remember now that just like with any macro price action, these two highs were very important highs of the cycle as well as this high. So now what we could do is we could take these highs, these prior highs here, as well as the value area high of this range that we were in. So from 65K to like 70K-ish here is going to be, what's one resistance again on a macro level, finally come back up, chop at the top of the resistance, finally break out of it. Once you break out of it, you can see something like in a healthy market, you come up to resistance, you come back down to bullishly backtest to flip what was once resistance into support, and you continue higher. So that's what I'm looking for. We're just going to wait to see what Bitcoin tells us. We don't try to predict. We just follow what the charts are telling us, try to stay level-headed. But anyways, Bitcoin looks super bullish right now. Crypto looks super bullish. We know favorable regulation is coming with the Donald Trump administration. I'm super stoked about that. And alts are starting to pop off. So this is exciting, you guys. This is something that I want to show you. One more thing real quick here. I'm just going to delete some of this stuff And all right. Here we go. So with any bull market, usually if anybody knows anything about Elliott impulse patterns or Elliott wave theory, usually a bull market starts with an impulse pattern, which is a 5-wave impulse to the upside. The third wave is usually the most aggressive and volume-filled wave. Waves 2 and 4 are corrections, and wave 5 is the ending wave of an impulse of a bull market. And then you can see what's called a correction wave, a bigger correction like an ABC correction. But if we just take the Elliott waves from the bottom of the market, we go up to here, we saw that complex correction in wave 2. Wave 3 was obviously the BlackRock filing for ETF and getting the spot ETF, pumping up to 74K. Over the last 8 months, we had correction 4. Let me change that. 4 here. 4 was that correction that we just saw over 8 months. And 5 is now where the target of the bull market can end. And I do have some targets for that. I'm going to share that with you guys in another video. We are possibly in the last leg of this bull market before we see what's called a bigger ABC correction to the downside. And once you end the 5th wave, you see something like this, a 3-wave ABC to the downside. Usually that's where you get your head and shoulders, which is a topping reversal pattern. And this might not even be the end of the bull market. This just might be wave 1 of the 5-wave impulse of the bull market. We might see a 6-month to a year correction, maybe a little bit of a recession based off the housing market, based off of other things. And then we see another continuation in 2026, 2027, or based off the 4-year cycle, we could wait another year or so, 2028, and we can continue higher. So that's something I wanted to show you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. And sorry, I suck at making videos and I suck at speaking right now, but I'm going to work on that. I'll do tutorials soon on how to do channels, how to find good channels, and how to find good pitchforks, because pitchforks and channels are such a good tool to use for trending assets, and especially in strong trends. Let me show you guys real quick. So if you look at pitchforks, because pitchforks, gosh, they're just so incredible. If I can find it here, where's that at? Why am I doing that? There you go. All right, so if we take a pitchfork and we go from the low to the first major high to this low, you can see like these pitchforks also are respected so well. And of course, we're going to get wicks on weekly time frames, but you can see they still follow pretty much the same sort of price action. And if we take this and we change it from an original pitchfork, we can change that into like a skiff pitchfork. You can see that it is held and very respected. And then once you kind of break out of the top of it, you come back into it, you test it, you hold it as support, you explode. You know, held as support again here, and then held as support again here. Once we hold the top of that, we explode up. So pitchforks can be a really nice tool to use for discovering targets in price discovery. I'm actually looking at a couple pitchforks. If we do like the wave 3 pitchfork here, you go from that low to that low to that high here, and you can see actually Bitcoin is coming up right now. Let's zoom in on this. Let's go to the daily chart here. You can see how well this pitchfork has been respected, and you can see that Bitcoin is actually coming up to the top of it. So actually, we might not even make it to 111 before we correct. It could be 105, 106, depending on when we hit it. Maybe if it's tomorrow, it is about 105. So yeah, that's something we need to watch for. You can see how well it's been respected. Also with pitchforks, you guys, I call this band here the upper band of the pitchfork. I call this band the lower band. I just turn off a couple of the levels that I don't think are very important. They are useful, but not really. These ones are the very important ones. And sometimes I even turn off I use, let's see, I use a pitchfork just like there's one with the band, and then I use one that doesn't have the band, just the 0.5s on it. That's another really good pitchfork. So yeah, there you guys go. I'll make a tutorial on how to do those later. Anyways, peace out, guys.